coaching game has been redeemed. Redemption accepted. Alright, so... Okay, we do that, and I think we're good. Alright, so... First things first, Flash Teleport, and you're going Conquer. You're going into a Karma. I understand Conquer. I personally would have taken PTA because you have opportunities, if you ever get on top of the Karma, to kill her, even early on, if you have PTA. With Conqueror, you're basically saying, we'll just farm it out till 9, and I'll look to kill you then. Personally, this is a lane I would take PTA because she is squishy, and because of a little bit of help or a mistake on her part, you could potentially kill her even early. You also started Duran's Blade. Again, Duran's Blade is what most of the pros start. Sometimes they start Corrupting Potion, sometimes Duran's Shield. I think I saw Whippo start Cult a few times, but for the most part, people take Duran's Blade or Corrupting Potion. So, respectable start. Again, I prefer Call, but understandable. Facing the first time Karma top. I see. Oh, is this your first time laning against Karma? Or was the Karma a first time Karma? You don't know the matchup, so it was your first time laning against the Karma. Yeah. No, this is a lane that can be very, very annoying. Her poke is quite obnoxious. And again, the only way you win this lane is by taking, at least early on, the only way you win this lane is by taking massive risks and landing everything perfectly. It is tough. But if you do, you snowball out of control. One kill is usually enough to snowball in this lane. But yes, in the future, I would say what you want to be doing is starting, going PTA. This is definitely better than for it. But yeah, Karma's really annoying because of that fucking ability right there. Her Q, especially the fact that she gets to use an R-empowered Q from level 1, is really annoying. Short cooldown, large area of effect, relatively large damage. I don't understand how the fuck she's at half mana already, but she does have Corrupting Potion, so she can give up the mana. You're taking the slow approach, which is fine. She's shoving. She has a lot of AoE damage. This makes it easy. And if you're just going to play passive, you outscale her. That's one nice part, right? It did make it so the Karma's scaling, at least when it comes to being a duelist, falls off the face of the earth as she levels up. From levels like 1 through 9, she's incredibly annoying. Every level after 9, she becomes less and less threatening. This is especially true because the itemization you typically need to go for when building Karma means that you're focusing more on your utility and not on your damage. So like right here, this would be, oh, very nice. That is exactly what I would have suggested. This is a lane you could take, like right here. If you had PTA, she'd be at 25% of her health. So yes, one nice part, Urgot is such a great champion to bring into champions with telegraphed CC like the Karma. Need the E-flash here. She's dead. Oh no. Oh, you needed to turn off your W there the moment it started firing at the minions. That was a micro error that could have gotten you the kill. Instead, the Lee got it, which is fine. But the thing is, Lee doesn't scale as hard as you do, so it's better that you get the kill. Good news, lane is in fantastic position. I would not recommend shoving it. Like right now, actually, I wouldn't do this. With the wave pushing towards you right now, it puts the Karma at a massive disadvantage and creates an opening for Lee Sin to just come right back for a repeat gank. There was really no reason for you to use your W there and push the wave like you were doing. Thankfully, the Karma teleported back and immediately continued shoving, so you're actually okay on this, but I would have just last hit at that point and called for the Lee Sin to come right back. Because what's the Karma going to do with no flash pushing past River? She'll die. This was, I actually think it was a mistake both on your part and the Lee Sin's part. After the kill happened, the Lee Sin should have just basically hung out here in this brush, waited for the teleport, and then just gone for another kill. It would have been very easy, especially if you just let it keep pushing. Like, if that wave died off, which it would have, you could have frozen it right here, at which point the Karma's got no way to get out. She's screwed. I think it was a missed opportunity. So yeah, something I was saying earlier, Urgot loves going against champions with telegraph CC because your E can ignore CC when you see it coming. Like right here, press E. So right there, this is another one of those moments, had you timed your E, like earlier you did it perfect. You timed her E right when that root was going to hit you. You ignored the root, you flipped her, you did a ton of damage. You could have done the same thing right here. Could have E'd right at her, flipped her, done a lot of damage. She would have been in trouble. The one problem you do have is that you are a little under-leveled. And you're taking a lot of harass. This is what makes Karma so frustrating. The harass. That harass is so frustrating. Now you got no choice. You need to back and teleport. You're going to miss some farming experience too. That's too bad. I feel like this could have been avoided, but I definitely understand if you don't have the experience of laning against a Karma, it's hard to understand just how effective her harass can be and how to avoid it and work around it. But here, like a big difference. Again, huge difference. If you had E'd at her, there's no way she could have forced you out of lane like that. She would have lost half her health or more. And if you had PTA, it would have been even better. I hate Karma Lane, to be honest, at times. I hate Karma Lane always. The only time a Karma Lane becomes fun is when she's started losing. Which, I mean, if you're Urgot and you're taking risks, eventually that'll happen. Unless, of course, she's a perfect Karma. Karma, in many ways, is like Vayne, Quinn. Champions like that basically win the lane by default, unless, of course, you outplay them or they make mistakes. Because it's just so easy. For Karma to harass you, she's got long range, she can auto. She's got long range, she can use her Q, she can use her RQ. If you ever try to go all in on her, she drops the root in your face. If it looks like you're going to be doing a lot of burst or she shields herself. It's a very frustrating champion to lane against. You only win this lane by taking risks, though, so that's always my recommendation right here. I would have made sure that this got forced into her turret before going to ward. She got all the farm there, and she probably would have missed some under the turret if you had forced her down there. You're welcome to link an Urgot rune. Excuse me, an Urgot build. Look, I can tell you this. Saber Kuwait. There are a lot of builds that work on Urgot. One thing that makes some Urgot builds work more than others is playstyle. So some builds that wouldn't work for me would work for somebody else. Oh yeah, you better run. Very good instinct. I have to say though, you are missing a lot of farm. There are several times that I noticed while you're farming, you're just letting Urgot auto attack freely. You're just standing there and letting the autos go, which means that sometimes you just miss CS because the minions kill it between autos. You got to be a lot more deliberate with your auto attack. Like with your W, you can't really control it, but with your auto attacks, you can. Like right there, you're controlling it perfectly. That's what you should be doing. Very good. Earlier, though, I definitely saw it looked like you were kind of zoning out. Well, Saber Quid, I could actually comment on it right now if you just listed the items. I could actually check that link until after the game. So they got the Rift Herald, you don't have vision, you should back with that. And you don't have any wards, do you? No, you don't have any wards. This is such a dangerous thing to do. If the Vi were there, you probably would have died. I mean, the fact you backed away immediately was very good. So that probably made the Vi think there was no point. Tried to build like me and it didn't work out as well. Sure. Hey, that's how it works. Like for me, I ran Cleaver forever. When I tried Death Stance first, I'm like, wow, this works for me. If I just did what everybody else was doing, I never would have discovered that. So. Oh my god, you can kill it. Never mind. Oh my god, if you threw your E at her, she's just dead. These guys are, what are they doing? Clowns! Yeah, if you had just thrown your E at the Vi, that's a kill. Somebody ran away in a straight line. She also had her flash. She could have dodged it or escaped. Yeah, when the Vi went back in with her Q, if you just threw your E at her, she would have died. The only problem there is if she had immediately thrown her R afterwards, your E would have been ignored and she would have locked you up in a position where the karma could have gone. It would have been a high-risk, high-reward scenario, which in this case would have worked. Because she clearly waited for her R after her Q whiffed. A weird choice, but... Wow, this karma thinks she can kill you? What is this karma doing? Hey, just E away. Yeah, easy. I don't know what the fuck this karma's doing. She missed all this farm under turret to make you run a little further away. Bad, bad, bad macro play from the karma. Delaying your back by a little bit is nothing. And by the way, I don't know why you didn't back. You had a perfect moment. You had a great moment to back when it's all under her turret and she's shoving. You would have made it. Like, had you back then, you'd be arriving to turret right about now. You would have come back with items. Let's see how much gold you have. Yeah, you got 1900 gold on you. That's enough for a Phage. It's enough for Kindle Gem and Vamp Scepter. It's a lot of gold. You should have gone back then. Also, I really like this Merc Treads first. Against their team, the Merc Treads is very good. Karma's got point and click hard CC. Vi, well, that's all knock-up, so it doesn't really help. Rise has point and click hard CC. Malphite has a slow. Merc Treads is good here, and it's especially good in the lane you're up against. Karma just got a kill. Ow. Second month in League of Legends, yikes. I wish you had come here first, I would have warned you away from the game. This game has an insane learning curve, and unfortunately Riot is not doing a good job as shepherd for this game's future. But for somebody who's only been playing for 2 months, dude, really good job. I see people who've been playing for a lot longer play a lot worse, so good job, man. But seriously, if this is only your second month playing, I'm very impressed. Ooh. Was waiting for Vi. Oh, wait a minute. You're not the person who's on this video. I'm being an idiot. Oh. I missed that. Let's see. I want to see. So let's see what happens. Just killing your ward. Fine. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that E-flash. Thing is, even if you landed it, and that's a big if, the root was going to hit you one way or the other, and she probably would have been able to walk away from that either way. It was going to be a wasted flash no matter what. Once that root was on you, like, your goal needed to be to bait her to get close enough so you could throw your E at her when the root hits and you'd still land the flip. At which case, that point, you can now trap her and use the flash to continue chasing. So, like, right here, your goal needs to be, like, pretend like you're running away. When they get too close, E at it. Bait it out. That's how you manage to land your E without needing to burn flash. Well, I meant specifically for that scenario when you use your E-flash there, because the E-flash never would have worked had you simply let the tether get to the point where she feels like she can get within range to root you, and then dash at her. Oh, wonderful things can happen. That is what you usually do. I might have just missed it earlier. You don't know Karma's cooldown. Let me give you a hint that's very short. Whoa! Nice kill steal. I approve. I would have done the same thing. I mean, Karma's your lane opponent. You deserve the kills. Doesn't matter if she's not in lane. Yep, there you go. This is the W auto micro. You're gonna kill this tower very fast. Very good. Yeah, Urgot needs a snack always. So you exchanged a tier 1 mid for a tier 1 top and drag. Very good. Or excuse me, tier 1 mid and dragon for tier 1 top. And now you can go for Rift Herald because there's no way they can defend it. Yep, no way they can defend it. Yasuo shouldn't be tanking this. Yasuo should not be tanking this. Like the clan name, by the way. So something that I haven't gone over yet is from a macro perspective of how this game looks. Looking at the team compositions, honestly, they're very similar. They're very, very similar. I feel like their team comp is just slightly better, but your team comp's easier to execute. Much easier to execute. It's a nice shot. It was a nice shot, but it didn't get a kill. The Karma Shield. That fucking Karma Shield. So yeah, like, this is a real worry. The enemy team's composition is quite scary. Ryze scaling is ridiculous. Ezreal scaling is ridiculous. Malphite, what am I want to see this from the beginning. So your flank, so you're coming around from the outside. There's 5 of them here. You only see the Yasuo. This is a bad idea. You're 2-0-1, but you were hoping to get a snipe in, eh? Yeah, that was a bit of a macro mistake. In this case, because all 5 members of the enemy team were here and 2 of your allies were already dead. And you're coming in from a position where you've got no backup and no ability to run away. You've got no exit strategy. You're outnumbered. I mean, I do understand the greed to go for the R kill because the Malphite was definitely within range for an easy snipe kill. And if you had landed that R, you potentially could have gotten a kill or 2 afterwards. But high risk, high reward. You could have, like in this case, it would have just been better had you found a way to rotate around and join your teammates and made a wall, as opposed to going for a kill. Oh my. Ugh. Ugh. People charging into the meat grinder. Yikes. What are your allies doing? What are your allies doing? Oh God! Oh God! What are they doing? Now drop the Rift Herald. Why aren't you dropping the Rift Herald? You have the Rift Herald. Drop it. Drop it like it's hard, man. There's... Oh wait. You dropped that Rift Herald late. Oh man, you dropped that Rift Herald. The turret would have gone down before she could have teleported in. And then you potentially could have gotten another charge off of it. Now, I guess good enough? I mean... Oh, sloppy as hell, but good enough. Ezreal got the kill, huh? That's a bitch. Yeah, that was, I'm trying to think how to break down what happened there. So first of all, I saw what you were talking about earlier where you're trying to bait out the root and then eating in. What happened here? Looked like you flashed and then eat like 2 seconds, like a second or two later. It was weird. It was a little bit disjointed. Your E landed, and then you fired the R off, so that was perfect. And once your E lands, like, that's the thing at this point. You land your E on the Karma, it's a kill every time. Especially since you got the Cleaver first. It's a kill every time. Plus, you're level 13. This is the strongest Urgot is probably going to be getting. Once you complete Death's Dance, that is, you will be the strongest you'll likely be for a long time. Landing your E is usually enough to kill, so, yeah. You're trying to take the turret without the Herald. Nice. The E flash, you were tilted. Nice. Well, you got the kill, man. Nice. 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 Good E. Very nice. You're acting as the front line here. That's what you should be doing. Excellent. Alright, 1 second. Be right back. So we're... The king needed 1 hour to kill Karma. They should buff something. So yes, looking at team compositions, your team has a 3 champion composition where you're basically relying on 3 different carries to potentially deal out damage. On their team, they're relying on also a 3 damage carry composition. The difference being that, well, the Lee foolishly is building damage. He will fall off. I say foolishly, since the Lee is doing well right now, damage means he can snowball harder, he can make individual plays, but that requires the enemy team to make mistakes or the Lee Sin to play immaculately, which is not, I mean, I guess you can expect mistakes at the CLO, but it's a dangerous thing. In the Lee Sin's case, I would not be getting so much damage. I would be getting some tank. Because otherwise, like, it leaves basically just you and the Braum as front line. That was weird. Ezreal Qs are invisible in replays. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, look at how much damage the Lee Sin took there. Lee Sin lost 40% of his health and did nothing. So that was the Vi intelligently queuing at him when the Lee queued him. Oh, very nice, very nice. So in this case, there's really not too much more I would say do differently here. I think you did just fine. I'd say turn on the Vi. There were probably a couple of minor things you could have done that would have been better, but I would need to slow down and dissect everything. Overall, I feel like you did well. I think there was maybe a slight positional error here or there. Like, when your R connected, you hesitated, you moved back a little before moving forward. Had you just charged forward immediately once your R connected, there's a chance you could have also gotten the Karma in the fear. And the Karma getting caught in that fear would have been a lot less power from the enemy team. It's funny, so the Ezreal's auto attacks are visible, but his Qs are not. Cool. I'm Platiello. I think this is Silver 2. We're hoping for Braum for away. He was useless this game. Nice. Yeah, you guys are outnumbered, but it's the beefiest members of your team. It's actually really weird that the enemy team is doing this. What is Jin doing? What is Jin doing? Good kick. The Lee Sin saved the Jin's life. The Jin that was an incredibly poor macro decision. The 3 beefiest members on your team are here. No one on the enemy team is low enough to kill. The Jin R was never going to kill anyone, and because of his positioning, the R is basically beacon. Hey guys, I'm right here. And the enemy team could go, oh, you're nowhere near a turret. And you just lit up a beacon. Jin was heavily trolling by the looks of it. 5-3-8, okay, lightly trolling. Your team's kicking a lot of ass overall. I don't know about this. I'd be... you're very strong, you're very far ahead, but I'd be careful. They have a Malphite. All it takes is the Malphite with 1 or 2 people like right behind him to kill him. Malphite presses R, Ezreal throws everything in your face. Vi presses R, you're dead. I don't know why you're here. You guys are lucky the Yasuo got that dragon and not the Vi. In this case, I feel like this was not the right call. Going into the enemy jungle like this, when your team's taking the dragon, you don't have backup. Your team is focused on the dragon, and rightfully so. That dragon is won before Soul Point, and taking that puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team. It means basically, in 5 minutes' time, the game's up for grabs. Oh my. Oops. But yes, in this case, I would not have gone into the jungle like that. What I would have done is either hovered here to intimidate them away from this wall, or I would have stayed here to make it so that if they want to approach in any way that isn't directly from this blasting cone or flashing over the wall, they'd have to risk their lives. You want to act as a barrier, is what I'm saying. Oh, what the hell's going on over here? Bold decision by the enemy team. Wow. That was a late. That was an extremely late smite. Also, I assumed you teleported to this ward. I couldn't see it because the replay system sucks. Good teleport. Good immediate E into R. Excellent. Too bad you really couldn't get that Baron. And it's especially too bad because the Vi smited it at like 150 or something. It means that the Lee Sin had more than ample opportunity to steal it himself. What are they doing? What the fuck is the enemy team doing? It's crazy this game's as close as it is. They're playing so poorly. Yeah, the Braum could have actually stolen the Baron with the Q. His Q maxed out at this point does... Oh, he didn't max it out. Oh. Why does he have 4 points in Unbreakable and 4 points in Stand Behind Me? That's confusing. That's really confusing. Why haven't you maxed one of them? Braum, 210. Oh. I see why this game's close. Oh, and yes, I see you do max E2. I'm personally not a fan of maxing E2. A lot of people swear by it. I understand. I disagree, but I understand. And yes, we were talking about Braum. I mean, I'd talk about why I max Q2, but that's an unnecessary conversation. In many regards, What you max first is always W. What you max second is personal. What do you find more useful? I find Q more useful to max. Some people find the disdain better to max. Both are valid options. God, your team is so aggro. So this is another issue of, like, you guys really shouldn't be posturing for a fight like this because there's only 3 of you here. Now the Jin's here. Now you can posture for a fight. Oh. Malphite pressed R. Malphite's the first to. If they weren't so far behind there, they would have massacred you guys. That Malphite R was beautiful. That's the reason why I say you shouldn't have been posturing for that fight earlier when there were only 3 of you. If the Malphite had done that earlier, when there was only 3 of you here, you guys would have been massacred. The Malphite finally went for it when your Jin just showed up. This is one of those moments where timing is literally everything. Unnecessary deaths, overstaying. But yeah, this is Dragon's Soul. Like, there's no reason to overstay like that when the soul's up for grabs. Lee just died. Jin just died. This is stupid. Now the soul should, I mean, the Vi should stop this from being an even remotely an option. And your team should be pulling this out. I do like what you're doing here. This is one of those times where you do need to go. Oh, she's dead. The E flash was a bit off. Just a little harder. We need to. That was a mistake on your part. I assume what happened here was some misclicking going on in the pit because unfortunately, like, you were walking away from the Vi when that happened. I assume you must have been, like, right-clicking over the wall. So the so this game, unfortunately, oh wow, you are just 1v5. Oh my god, you got it. Oh my, you're still fighting. Oh my god, disgusting. Who needs soul? Just keep brawling him, man. My god. Oh my god. This is disgusting. Did Lee just carry her? No, he didn't. How did the Karma just sort of do this half jump back? That was weird. So yeah, that was really well fought on your part. Very well fought. You brawled and you fought and you kept yourself alive the entire time. Very well played. So I do want to just mention something. Oh, this game's not even about to be over. So it looks like you're about to overstay then, aren't you? Ah, inhibitor's coming back up. I see the problem. Can't end the game yet. Who? Really? You need to leave. You need to leave. You needed to leave a while ago. Looks like you'll be okay. Good. So, something I was mentioning earlier. When you landed your R on the Vi, you started running away from her. I assume what happened was you were right-clicking over here. Pathing in this game sucks. So Urgot thought to himself, I know, I'm going to go all the way around the pit in order to be able to fire her. Had you been right-clicking here and turned off your W immediately, you would have been able to get into a range to be able to land an auto on her, which would have given you the execute before she could get in and smite. Overstaying. Now you're going to lose your GA. Your GA and your life. That was a heavy overstay. Again, this is another one of those moments where you need to be thinking from an objective standpoint. There's nothing to be had in the middle of the map. Their inhibitor's down. Your team is scattered. There's no reason to be posturing anywhere around the middle side of the map at all. Your next big objective is either this turret right here or this Baron right here. If your objective was the turret, which your teleport's up, so I would be against it. You would have backed after taking this inhib, and you would have gone up here to take the turret. Instead, and I think this would have been the better option, you back, and you start pushing bot lane. You pressure this, you make the enemy team show up, now the Baron is up for grabs. Instead, they get the Baron, they get the kills, you lose your GA. And this game looks a lot closer than it should have been. Ooh. You're going full carry on this, I see. The Mortal Reminder. Mortal Reminder into their team, huh? That's an odd choice. I don't think I would have gone for the Mortal Reminder. There's no one on their team with natural healing. I mean, yes, Karma can use her Empowered W to get a % of healing, but that's not something critical in team fights. You don't expect her to do that. You expect her to use the Empowered Shield. The Vi, yeah, she built that stance, but that's not major healing. That's not something you should be working on. Also, why is your team pushing mid? Your R was late, too. The Yasuo would have lived if you threw your R earlier. Not that it matters. You guys win the team fight. Again, this is another one of those macro things I just don't get. There are no objectives in the mid lane, so your team should not be pushing mid. You have teleport as well, which gives you free reign to basically go top lane or go bot lane and then teleport to join your team. I mean, it's not bad. Oh. Wow. I mean, it's not bad that you're just sticking with your team and frontlining for them, but just, from a macro perspective, there's nothing to gain in the mid side. If you want to win this game and end it faster, you go for the global objectives, which in this case, this turret would be beautiful. Pressuring this turret would have been amazing. You could have done both. And that's the thing, this is not something that relies on your allies. Also, again, you guys are posturing, and now enemies are reviving, and you guys need to leave. Malphite, or you do that. It's too aggro. Again, this feels like a game where you guys are just looking to make plays and not win. You guys are just looking to get kills. This is not the right way to play League of Legends. It's a fun way to do it, but it's not the right way. And yeah, the Ezreal does have Blade of the Ruined King, but even then, I feel like, again, Executioner's Calling, Mortal Reminder, not great options. And there's another global objective where if you were alive right now, like this is unfortunate. You are a lot of your team's golden power and you're dead right now. It makes it really difficult for your team to go for these objectives, and it was because you took a very aggro move here just for funsies. This is a game, look, I've been in many games like this where I'm on the side of the Karma, and we turn the game and win because the sort of playing you're seeing right here now. The Vi gets the dragon again. This game is basically one mistake away. Wow, that's good R. Good R shots this game. You guys are making me feel like shit in comparison with my Rs. Yeah, they need to run for their lives. They can't win this. That Ryze is probably dead. Nice shot. Oh no! Red buff not good enough. Ah, so close. But yeah, it's unfortunate. This is the third dragon they've gotten. It's a Baron you guys have lost. Like, you guys should have gotten the Dragon Soul 2 dragons ago. And right now, this should have been Elder, and you should have been alive to take it. This game's going on much too long. You guys should have won about 10 minutes ago. Your advantage was massive. Should have sent in the replay when it was actually stiffened. I don't see a problem with that. And yeah, the Rise was very lucky. The Rise was one W shot away from that. Wow, this Karma's suicided. The Karma should have suicided. Holy shit, this game is so hard! I think you should have gone for the Ezreal. Nice, there's the Ezreal there. Nice. As much as I really like your R's, your E's have been pretty far. You should be focusing on the buy. You could have killed the buy. Looks like the Lee might still do it. Oops. You will not. Nope. Oh. Yeah, but you guys can just end the game. Very nice. There are a lot of things that extended the duration of this game where you directly could have changed it. What the hell? You have to stick to your low team as a front line. Yeah, look, when I said you should have been splitting and using your teleport, I understand why in lower ELOs you wouldn't want to do that. Because your teammates could just get into one bad fight. By the time your teleport's done, it's too late. If you're the front line and you're not there to absorb the damage for your team will still look for the fight and die. I've been in many games like that, so I understand. In a better game with better teammates, I would have been splitting for the last 10 minutes of that game and forcing the enemy team to send 2 or 3 people to deal with me, and then letting my teammates basically take Baron, take Dragon, split another turret. There's no reason that you guys should have focused like so fucking hard on just shoving the mid lane. That mid lane lost its inhib and its turrets 10 minutes ago, but you keep pushing it. Again, I'm saying you keep pushing it. Your team keeps pushing it. Yes, let me look at that. Yeah,